Hi and welcome to Grid View Guy videos. My name is Mohammed Azam, and this is actually a fun video because in this video what I will do, I will explain the basics of the inner join as well as the left outer join. And the fun part is that we'll be taking a look at the from both the sides, from the SQL Server side and also from the link to SQL side. So let's get to it. I have a very simple project. It's called a link console application, and I have already added a Northwind link to SQL file. If you take a look at that particular file, it's very simple. Just two tables. One is a category, and the other one is the product. Okay. So let's go to program over here, and let's say that I want all the categories from the categories table in the Northwind database that have a corresponding product. Okay, simple query, but instead of writing it in directly into our link to SQL, let's step back and write it into our the query analyzer for the SQL Server. Okay, so I'm just going to select all from categories. Just that you know that I have few categories and products in the database. And if I execute it, you will see the results, the categories, and the products. So let's make the particular query work. Let's make it select C dot category name from categories C, join, I would say products, P on C dot category, okay, C dot actually ID equal to P dot category ID. Let's run this, and you will see that all the categories are displayed which have a corresponding product in the products table. But the problem is that the categories are duplicating. So let's add a simple distinct keyword, run it, and we have 8 categories that have a corresponding product in the products table. Okay, so this is the inner join. Now let's use the same approach over here. So I'll simply make a Northwind data context, and using that I will say var query equal to from C in db.categories. I'll say join P in products, oops, db.products on C dot ID equals P dot category ID, select new, and this over here I will declare an anonymous type, so I need a category name equal to C dot category name. Okay, let's write down the query that has been generated. That will be fun. So when I run this, everything is exactly the same that as I wrote in the T-SQL or in the query analyzer, with only one exception: it doesn't have a distinct keyword. Okay, so what happens if I iterate through this? So if I say for each loop, so if I'm iterating through my query, what will happen? Here we go. So we get all these categories, and they are duplicated, just like the result we got in our T-SQL query analyzer, and we added a distinct keyword, and that solved the problem. So let's apply a distinct keyword also over here. So let's close this up and say distinct. And now let's run the query, and you will see that you will get the same result as you did using your T-SQL query. So we have added a distinct keyword over here. So this was the example of the inner join. Okay, now let's see how the outer join actually works. Okay, Now if I run over here in T-SQL, if I run over here, select all from categories, you will see that there are close to like 22 categories. Okay, and when I put a inner join, it only select 8 of them. Okay, so the reason it's selecting 8 of them is because these 8 categories have a corresponding product in the products table, and some of the other categories, they don't have a related product. But for outer join to work, uh, you must you must return, or the outer join works in this way, that it will return all the categories even if it doesn't have the related product in the products table. So I will say over here left join. Oops. So left join means you will give me all the elements which are on the left hand side, which is in this case category. So you will give me all the categories. I don't care if they don't have a product. Just give me all the categories, but give me distinct. And here we go. So you will return you, I think, 13. Here we go. 13 categories are returned which are distinct. Some of them have a corresponding product, and some of them, they don't have a corresponding product. So we're going to use the same thing in link to SQL, which is called a left outer join. Okay, so I'm just going to comment out this one and write a new query. So I'm going to say var query equal to from C in db.categories join P in db.products, okay, on c.id equals to p.categoryID into. Now this is that the result of this particular query will be placed in a temporary object or a temporary table. So say joined products. Okay, and then I'm going to say from joined product in join products dot default or empty. So you are going to select a default if empty and select new category name equal to c dot category name. Okay, and I think one more thing that you will add over here is the distinct. Now let's run it, and here we go, and you can actually see that this is the exact result that we got from using T-SQL, and it is the exact query that has been generated when we were using the T-SQL. Of course, it's always a good idea that whenever you write your link to SQL statements, also always check in the SQL profiler or using this command line to see what query is actually generated, because you might be getting the result that you acquire, but the query that has been generated by link to SQL might be really complex, and it might really hit your system bad if you are not paying attention what is going on. So that's pretty much it. So in this tutorial, you learn how to use the inner join as well as the inner join, and the fun part was that we compared both the different sides, looking at from a T-SQL point of view and also then looking from link to SQL point of view. So I hope you like this video tutorial, and thank you very much.